dreams collide. High road roaring every night. Spotlight on Spurs, feel the fight. Spotlight on Spurs. Take the field. This is passion, nothing concealed. Through the tackles, joy ignites. Spotlight on Spurs, burning lights. Feel the tempo, sweet and wild. London's warriors never mild. Every challenge we endure. Spotlight.
Good morning, everyone. Luke from Spotlight on Spurs. The saga has finally finished. It's finally over, but it's not the ending that Spurs fans wanted. Morgan Gibbs-White has rejected Spurs and signed a huge new contract, from reports being out there, in terms of staying at Nottingham Forest. Absolutely crazy end to the saga. Everybody seemed to think it was all done and dusted, and Spurs had finally got their man, and they haven't. It's all done. He signed a new contract. Very, very strange one for me. Is it an extension, but only of 1 year? So the comments that are coming out from Forest obviously are saying how pivotal he is and his leadership skills, his quality, etc., etc. And they've offered him a 3-year deal when he already had a 2-year deal. So very, very strange. Normally, these sorts of signing, like contract renewals, would be a 5, 6, 7-year deal. And yet it's only been a 3. So I think there's going to be a hell of a lot that's going to come out about this deal. And also the deal that fell through to Spurs. I think there's so much that will come out in the wash. Eager to hear what everybody's thoughts are on this absolute mess. How have Spurs triggered a release clause, got the player to agree the contract, and somehow still haven't managed to get the player through the door? We've even had the "Here we go." That's why the title today is "Here We Know." Unbelievable. What do Spurs do now? That is the big question. I've said it a few times that the player profile of Morgan Gibbs-White was quite specific. The fact that he's homegrown, the fact that he's got Premier League experience, the fact that he's captained his club on a few occasions, been involved in England squads, can play in variety of positions. I think that he's the player profile is quite unique in that aspect. Not saying that nobody plays the game like him or anything like that, but as I just mentioned, all of them different reasons. It's going to be interesting to see who is the player that we now target. There's already been some rumours out to say Harvey Elliott at Liverpool. For me, I just can't get on board with it. I think he's a top player, very good young player, but I just can't get on board with it. The personality, things that have been said in the past, the way that he just conducts himself, he's part of, and I've said it on previous pods, I've probably said it on this channel as well, I'm just not sure he passes that no dickhead policy that Frank's got in at the club, and that he's famously mentioned quite a few times, I think, in some interviews in the last few months. Big up to the chat. We've got Razzle Dazzle in here today. Same old Spurs, different day. Oh, mate, it's absolutely chaotic. It is, and it all seemed to be so different. It all seemed to be so different. The fact that we've got the Morgan Gibbs-White deal and the Kudos deals, we've got the Here We Goes back in consecutive days, I think it was. I'm just having a look on the channel, and we had the Kudos Here We Go, I think it was 2 weeks ago. So we was on here talking about how we can't believe what Spurs have done. We cannot believe that we've acted like this. I've been saying that we've gone and we've taken top players from clubs in the Premier League, which is a way that has progressed a lot of top clubs. You look at Bayern Munich, you look at PSGs. I know they're the elite level of their league, but they come in, and the way that they stay at the top is by constantly taking the best players from the teams below them. And then all of a sudden, it's just done with. I mean, it had gone so quiet. Everybody thought we was all down to the legal sort of side of things, and that's the reason why there was such a stalemate in terms of who's done the wrong thing, etc. And then we get that. It's such a weird way. And as I said, just the fact that it's only an extra 1 year extension on top of, I think there will be loads of bits and pieces that do come out in the wash, probably in the next few weeks or so. Just how weird that this has become. I don't think many of us can get the head round it. The absolute uproar on X has been quite funny from both sides, because Forest fans were absolutely slaughtering this player. I've seen comments where he's useless, that he can't shoot, that he can't pass, he doesn't dictate games, he's not good enough, he's not their best player. And yet now it seems to be pandemonium over on the Nottingham Forest side of things. And I completely get it. I think he's a top player. That doesn't change now because he's not coming to Spurs. I still think he's a top player. It took a lot of criticism from a lot of the fan base. And then to go and sign the new contract, I still think there's a lot that's going to come out in the wash. I'm sure you guys agree. What's everyone's feelings on this? Because it's a very, very strange. Only Spurs could do this. Only Spurs could do this. Morning, razzle dazzle. Morning, everyone. Spurs ownership setting Frank up to foul. Rather pay a manager off than pay for a new player. Yes and no. Are they at fault for this? I'm not so sure. In terms of they got the deal done, the price was put in, the release clause was triggered, the contracts were accepted. It seems to be that the only person that put a block on this was the Forest owner, and then from that there seems to have come this thing where he's coming. It wouldn't surprise me if he's been offered. They've said record breaking and numbers haven't come out, but it wouldn't surprise me if he's been offered a huge salary. I mean, we look at some of the salaries that have been offered to the Premier League, to Premier League players. Some of the not called like so-called big six clubs, for instance. Some of them are on a huge amount of money, and it wouldn't surprise me if that was the case with him. He's as I say, he's only signed a 1 year extension. They're almost acting as if like this is a 5, 6, 7 year deal. It's only 1 year on top of what he already had. And obviously, by the sounds of things, it seems like the release clause has been removed as well. I hope for his sake that this isn't a gentleman's agreement where they've said if anyone, probably bar Spurs, comes in and offer X, we'll accept, because the way that owner's going on, I'm not so sure. Big up Nige. Big up Luke Buddy in chat. So frustrated, mate. 100%. If you're free and you want to pop on, mate, just drop me a quick message and I'll send you over the link. We're only going to go for probably about an hour or so. I'll probably look to come off about 12:30. So if you fancy it, mate, more than welcome. Just drop me a message and I'll send you over the link, and you can come on and give your thoughts and your feelings. Load of nonsense. Is the player good enough? Yes or no? If yes, then get the deal done yesterday. If not, next target. Mate, I think he is good enough. I think this is the sort of level of player we need to be targeting if we want to increase our stakes in the league. For instance, I think he's a top player, as I said. Leadership, England international, young. He's young enough to be able to go to the next level, but not young enough where he's like a 20-year-old without experience sort of thing. So Premier League ready, played it, knows it. I just think he would have been a top player. It'd be interesting to see who they go to next. Be very, very interesting to see. Who do you think? Who's your number one guy? I've been saying this quite a lot about it. It needs to be. We need to start targeting 1s and 2s and going for targets 1 and 2 and not 3, 4 and 5, which is something Spurs have renownedly done. It seems like we always get the 5th, 6th, 7th choice instead of getting the first. So he looked like he was the first choice for that position. Who's number 2? Who is the number 2 man? Let me know your thoughts below. Everybody's saying hello to everyone else, which is brilliant. It's what we love to see. We're all in the same boat today, whether you was a Morgan Gibbs-White fan or whether you wasn't. The fact that he's rejected us and signed a new contract at Forest is just, we're all in the mud. Everybody's in the mud. Rumours even circulating yesterday that we was going to be pushing and edging the deal over the line, and then look what happens. All just a little bit crazy. We should be monitoring players 6 months before the window and action by. You said we monitor during. It does. It certainly seems like that, my friend. It certainly seems like that. I have no doubt that the monitoring does take place for months in advance, but it does seem that we are very much a reactionary club. It does seem like that. We're very, very reactionary. Instead of being, I've been saying this for ever since I came onto YouTube, that the squad planning at this club is just absolutely ridiculous. There's never a plan. There's never a let's look at Sonny as an example. If you was let's go back to Sonny when he was 29, 30, that sort of age, in almost like his pomp, and you go, what a time to come in as a young player to learn off of him, play the odd game here and there, pick it up when he's rested, say. But learn from him on the training pitch. You can tell what his character's like. You can tell he's a brilliant trainer. You can tell that he's got the right attitude, and that's the sort of player that you want to learn from. And there should have been a succession plan in place to say, right, he's going to be the number one guy for when Sonny levels no longer at the required standard to be an absolute starter. And yet we're still now, he's 33, and we're still now sitting there having the discussions about whether Sonny's should be starting, whether he shouldn't. We've got a load of left wingers in, but are any of them good enough? Succession planning is just absolutely ridiculous. Kane is another prime example. Everybody knew that Kane was probably going to end up going. We sell him, and then we go a whole season without a striker, and then we bring in Solanke, who pretty much most people were kind of saying that is not good enough anyway. Again, succession planning is just absolutely ridiculous. It's just, I don't understand it. I just don't understand it at this club. And that is one of my fears, is that who is going to be the succession plan to Morgan Gibbs-White? As a club, have we not been hearing anything, because that's just the way land works? And it's going to be similar to the Kudus deal and the Morgan Gibbs-White deal that obviously didn't go through in the end, but where it just goes, bang, it's done. Give us you kind of hear reports. If I remember rightly, Morgan Gibbs-White was like a 2 p.m. where they went, Spurs are like interested in triggering release clause, and then by 8 it was already a done deal. It was already, here we go. So are we going to do that? And if we do that, then brilliant. But at the moment, it just seems to be so quiet. Morning, Archer, my friend. How are we doing? Probably like all of us. Still in a bit of disbelief. When it was coming through yesterday, I was going, no, surely not. Ornstein's so reliable. Maybe it is correct. And then a couple of minutes later, I do find it funny, some of the stuff that's coming out from Forest. I mean, the old heart over the badge was the best one. I mean, he's already agreed. He agreed a contract at Spurs. So the heart being at Forest is a bit of a funny one, but we didn't offer enough wages. That's the simple end of it. I don't think that's the case, mate. He accepted the wages. The wages were accepted. That was done. I mean, that's from every report. There has been a lot of conversations about the medical and whether or not that was actually done. There's been reports that he was in London. There's been reports that he was in the hotel room. Some said he was at the Spurs training ground. But what everybody's agreed on is the contract was accepted from Morgan Gibbs-White. So I do find it a bit difficult to be able to look at Levy and say this is on him. Where I do think it's on Tottenham is that if they haven't got a succession plan in place, and we'll find that out in the coming days, because we need to action this ASAP. But it's a tough one. It's tough to know who's to blame on this for me. It really, really is, because you can look at it in so many different ways. You can look at it in so many different ways in terms of, did Spurs mess up in triggering that clause in the first place, and therefore, again, the blame kind of goes to them. If you read between the lines, if the contract was accepted, the bid was the release clause, and then the owners just turned around of Forest and just said, "You're not leaving." Is there a legal issue in that, in terms of, can you stop that from happening? It seems that was the only thing that put a stop to it 2 weeks ago. Obviously, there's been conversation since, but let's not forget, Morgan Gibbs-White, as again, rumours. We all seem to think that we know everything that's going on, and we quite clearly don't, because this kind of come out of the blue. But for a year, they've been trying to get him to a new contract, and it's never ever worked until now. So, what is it? What is it that's changed throughout the whole year? This isn't a conversation where they've offered him a contract, he said no, and then he's accepted the next one. This has been ongoing for a year, where they've been offering him new contracts and he's refused it. So what's changed from all year up until the minute Spurs have made the bid and it's been accepted? Who knows? Who knows? As I said, I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that comes out in the wash about this. It was only a wage. Yeah. It was. They've said that it's a record breaking wage, but I will keep going back to the fact that this isn't a 5 or 6 year deal. So it's a 1 year extension on top of what he's already had. And if he was the star boy in your project, if he was absolutely dedicated to the cause, why has he not done the 5 or 6 year deal? I think that there's a little bit more to it. I really, really do. But until we know everything, it's really difficult. I mean, we was all sitting there making our assumptions on the deal and it going through, it not going through, whatever it is. But it's typical Spurs. We can never have anything nice. I'll tell you one question I'm really eager to hear from all you guys. What would have happened if we'd have lost the Europa League final? What would have happened then? Gee, if this is what we've got, if this is what we've been delivered up after winning the Europa League and obviously getting Champions League, and Levy making his statement around winning the Premier League and the Champions League, what would we have been, and where would we be if we hadn't have won in Bilbao? For me, we know for a fact how professional Harvey has been for Liverpool. If he joins us, there's nothing to suggest he wouldn't be here as well. No, I'm not talking about the professionalism, and I'm not saying that he's not a good player. I think he is a good player. He's a very good player. I'm not sure he is a direct replacement for Morgan Gibbs-White. Another thing I'm interested to hear from you guys: where do you think Morgan Gibbs-White was going to play? Because I think that he was going to play more central midfield. I think that was the idea, was a deep lying playmaker almost. He had a great engine. He was physically able to compete. He was a great runner of the ball. He was powerful. So I think he was going to play more central midfield. Again, we can only go off of the very few games that we've seen. But Frank mainly used 4-2-3-1 at Brentford. So therefore that says that we've for me, that means we're going with 2 central midfielders. Harvey Elliott is not a central midfielder in a 2 for me. I know he played there for Liverpool mainly when they play sort of a 3 in midfield. So I don't see him being a direct replacement. I really, really don't, unless people think Morgan Gibbs-White was almost a Maddison replacement, which everyone can obviously, we can debate that, and maybe that was the case. We won't obviously know now, but I think it was more of a central midfield option, and Harvey Barnes is just not that guy for me. Harvey Elliott is just not that player for me. It's not Levy's fault he's got played, but yes, he has indeed. We've been done like a kipper here, absolutely done like a kipper. Has Levy been levied? Has Levy been levied? That's the question. The discussion should only be whether he's good enough to do the job. And I've looked at his scout report. You'd be hard pressed to get a better since that's. No, I'm not. As I say, I'm not disagreeing with you whether he's a good enough player. But again, we can only go off of what we've previously seen, and what we've previously seen from Frank is very much all about the team, all about the personality, a good teamwork, good cohesion, that sort of stuff. And I'm just not sure really it's that. And listen, I could be completely wrong. It could be that he made mistakes when he was younger, that sort of thing. I'm pretty sure even in the Euros when they won in the final, there's a video of him putting his fingers up at maybe a player or the crowd or something like that. Again, maybe it's just taken a bit out of context. We don't micromanage these sorts of stuff or microview these stuff because he's not at Spurs. But I just think that there's other players out there we can go and get that I would prefer. And as I said, I still don't see Harry's the replacement for Morgan Gibbs-White anyway. To be honest with you, I don't think they're similar sorts of players. Conor Gallagher plus 30 million for Romero. That's been set up for ages now, mate. He just doesn't like Spurs. He's a Chelsea boy. He just doesn't like Spurs. He tried everything he could to stay away from that transfer. When he actually went to Atletico, we were linked solidly for what felt like 30 years. Similar to this saga, to be honest with you. We've had a similar saga. And I just don't see how he's going to then change his mind and come back. I really, really don't. I don't think that Atletico Madrid have just signed, I don't know whether the deal's completed or not, but they've just signed Hanko, I think. So they've probably boosted their central centre-back. I'll get there in a minute. Their centre-back positions. Is Romero needed? I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure on their end. And yeah, what are we're valuing Romero at what 80 million? So that's giving Conor Gallagher the 50 million mark. I think we was linked. Is it 50, 60? So the numbers probably match up. I'm just not so sure. How much do you reckon RB Elliott is worth? Yeah, it's a great question. It's a great question. I think 40 million is what's been banded about. If I'm right, probably wrong, but we lose world-class player for a bang average one. We lose Romero with no world-class players left in the squad. The problem, and I keep saying this, I think Romero on his day is absolutely top class. Is he consistent enough? Is he available enough? Is the big thing. But I completely agree with you on this concept in terms of the amount of players that I see linked away from this football club, who the person that's coming in is not better than, is unbelievable. Like, let's say Romero does go. It's different. They're obviously in different positions if we're going back to the whole Conor Gallagher swap sort of deal. But let's go back to Romero. If Romero leaves this football club, we don't have a centre-back as good as Romero as the package. So therefore, we are making our first 11 weaker. And will we go and sign a better player than Romero? I don't think so. So therefore, if we continually make our striker, our positions weaker, we're going to get weaker. That's it. Big up, Tony. You're spot on, but this is typical Levy. But what is typical Levy? What is typical Levy? As I said, and this isn't. We're not hearing this from inside the club. This isn't almost like we're hearing it from a couple of little sort of journalists where from everybody, from Romano, from Ornstein, the release clause was hit. It was triggered, or Spurs believed it was triggered, and so did these journalists. The contract was accepted, and he was on his way. I believe that the contract was accepted and the kind of deal was done in the evening. So the idea was that he was to come to London the following day for his medical, and that never materialised. And the rumour, again, everything is rumour, was that Nottingham Forest got wind of this, specifically the owner, and he put a stop to it. So what's typical Levy? If that's the case, he's done everything he can do. And listen, again, there might be more that comes out in the wash where it could have been that there was another couple of million needed or whatever. But from all the reports from the consistent journalist, he hit all the figures that were required, and it was just stopped. Meatball threw his toys out. That's it, isn't it? That's the exact thing. It seems that he's got wind of it, and he's not happy. They've lost the Langer a couple of days earlier. He's going to fight. I was under the impression that this was just a case of let's delay this until we can bring someone in, until we can bring in a replacement. Everybody knows what it's like when you've got the 120 odd million that they would have had with Alanga and Morgan Gibbs-White. Everybody knows they've got money. That then adds a few million pound on top of the targets that they require. So it's a difficult one. It's a difficult one. No idea. I've heard 35. Yeah, that was kind of what I said. 40 million pound mark for Harvey Elliott, and probably some add-ons in that as well. Throw a number. Yeah. Who knows? We all thought we knew numbers when it came to Morgan Gibbs-White, and they've got ended up having an NDA release clause. Yeah, that's a baffling one. That's a real strange one. So essentially, there's a release clause in the contract that nobody's allowed to know what it is. So how is anyone supposed to know if they've hit that mark or they haven't? A bit of a strange one. No one does those other than Chelsea players. I'm a bit behind on the chat, so I'm catching up. Maybe I've missed that there. Big up, James. What's happening, mate? How are we doing? If you're free, mate, and you want to kind of pop on and have a quick chat, I'm only going to go for probably about another half an hour. More than welcome. Just drop me a message. I'll send you over the link. Well, if we lost, hopefully all our crap players would want out. I mean, it would sell the whole team, mate. How many players would actually be staying if we were getting rid of all of the crap players? How many would we have? Would have been deep line playmaker, box to box, 100%. That's what I think. That's what I think would have happened. I think he would have been that. We're going to be better. We're going to be a better defensive structure this year under Frank. So he would have. It wouldn't have been a 10. I don't think he would have. He could have played there on occasions. He could have also. He could have played off the left as well on occasions. But everybody seems to be in agreement that we're going to the old box to box. And I completely agree with that. Big up, Donna. What's happening? How are we doing? Roll on PSG. Gary, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. Roll on PSG. I mean, a couple of weeks ago, they got beat by Chelsea. We was just in the process of signing Kudos. We was just in the process of getting Morgan Gibbs-White, and we was all going, come on, bring us on, bring PSG on. And now we're all going, oh, absolutely not. What is happening at our football club? There's always something going on. Everyone having a quick chat amongst themselves. Don't we have transfer Siro player every summer in one way or another? It's convenient for Levy that it dragged on. We missed out on targets. He plays this year. We tried. Listen, and this is one thing I've been saying this, and I agree with you on previous summers. On this summer, it's happened so early that we all know that money's there now. Now the Gay bid at the end of January, for instance, that for me was a token bid. It was never going to be accepted, and it was we tried. We tried, but now everyone's going to turn around and go, no, that 60 million's there because we know it's there now because you've bid it, so we know it's there. So I do agree with you. However, there's now a period of time where we can now show that we've still got that money or that money's available, and it's very difficult for anyone to turn around and go, oh no, we don't have it now. We don't have it. Super Tottenham TV morning. Big up. Thanks for coming in. Much appreciated. Me, the key target has always been Polini. For anyone else, Matteo has been saying, and Germany waiting for the call for 4 weeks. Polini, I think for me, I think he's a good player. I think he brings a lot of what we lack. I just prefer a progressive midfielder. I just want someone that can get on the ball a little bit and play a little bit. As I said, if we get him, I'm not going to sit there and go, no, it's not a player I want. However, there's other targets I think we should be looking at. But we definitely need to strengthen that midfield options. Them midfield need to absolutely be strengthened. Polini would have been. This if you had like Polini, Morgan Gibbs-White and James Maddison in midfielder, I think it would have been a good midfielder. I do, but as I say, for me, I just want a bit more of a progressive player. I just want someone that can play a little bit. As I say, especially with the setup where we look like in the friendlies, it looks like we're kind of going to almost like a three at the back when we're attacking. One of the fullbacks seems to be coming inside and helping out the two centre backs. And then if you don't need to have like a destroyer in front, then for me, you just have to have someone operating in that defensive area. And then that means you've got 4 players in that space. So yeah, as I say, I'm not against it at all. And I think he'll be a good player, but I'm not sure whether or not he'd be my number 1 player. Would world-class players do we actually have to lure to this club to play with? It's a tough one. And on their day, a lot of them are good players, but are they consistent enough? And that's a big thing for me with world-class. You have to be consistent. You have to be available. And if you're not either of them things, then world-class is a difficult one to catch. I wouldn't say, when we say about world class, for instance, I don't think Kudos or Morgan Gibbs-White are world class. I think they're a level above what we've got, and they have the potential to go another level up. But are they world class? I'm not so sure. Kington, what do you guys think? Would you class Kudos or Morgan Gibbs-White as world class? No excuse for another business. This is it. We've got no excuse. And if we go into this summer, into this season, and we've only made Kudos as the main signing, we are going to struggle, because if we go through some of what other people have signed already this summer, we are going to struggle. He swing his arm in the friendly, could have been sent up, mate. I'm not I've heard about it. I didn't actually see it. I signed up as a member on Spurs, and I was told I get a discount on Spurs Play, and I'll be sent the discount code and everything else. And nothing's been sent, so I was having to watch it via alternative means, and it kept cutting out, so I didn't see everything. Big up Tottenham Logic TV, Anime. You weren't subscribed. Oh, mate, what is this all about? Let's have a look at the old subscriptions, because we're very, very close to 1.2k now, I believe. We've made some. Oh no, we've 1.181. So we've got 19 more of you guys. 19 more. Big up for coming in. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Levy's got us scot-free again. We'll buy a few bargains. I don't think he has. I don't think he has got us scot-free. As I said, we've got so much time now between now and the end of this window. And to be honest with you, I think from winning the Europa League, from making the statements he made, from the other rivals of at the top of the league for the signings that they're making, I don't see how he gets off scot-free. We absolutely need to make signings. What do people think of Justin Kluivert coming up? For me personally, and I said this about Semenyo, I would be going absolutely nowhere near any Bournemouth players. I would not be going anywhere near any of them. And not because of the quality, but they have sold their Kirkes, they have sold Huijsen, they have sold even their right back went, their keeper, obviously Kepa's gone. They are in talks about selling Zabani. They have absolutely no reason to sell. Absolutely no reason to sell whatsoever. So when you go there and say, I want, unless there's a release clause, you go there and say, I want X, they're just going to give you a ridiculous number because they've got absolutely no reason to. Although I like the thinking, I think he's a decent player. I'm not sure he's levels above what we've got, but he would offer very good cover in a variety of positions. And I do think that we need that versatile forward for sure. 100%. Let's have a look. How many likes have we got, guys? We're doing all right. We're at 24 likes, guys. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. Let's have that 50 likes as the target for today's stream. It's all Angie's fault. Josh, I completely agree with you, mate. I completely agree with you. The injuries that we keep getting, they're all his fault. Listen, I'm not going to be one of them. I'm not going to be one of them that constantly, but this is what I've been saying since I joined YouTube. It's only been a few months, but I've been saying it from the very, very start. We have been putting absolutely everything on Ange. Everything has been his fault, and everything at this club needed changing, whether Ange was here or whether he wasn't. And unfortunately, with the board seems to change, the coaching has changed, the medical team, there seem to have been changes. Let's wait and see. If we got Morgan Gibbs-White over the line, then you could say actually the transfer window looks like the targets are changing in terms of them becoming Premier League ready, more experience, more money being spent. However, maybe that's not the case. Let's see. And this is the problem with transfer windows, right? If you go and you make a couple of good signings at the start of the window and then sign nothing, everybody forgets about the good signings at the start. And then with Spurs, you get them in too late. They don't have the relevant preseason. They don't have the tactics. You have to work it smart, and we just seem to do everything the wrong way round at Spurs. Razzle dazzle fan of Kluivert. Mate, that's how we've got to be. Morgan Gibbs-White, you shit ass, mate. He's done us over, isn't he? He's done us over. He's absolutely. We're in the mud. Breaking news. Our alternative signing out from Gibbs-White is Gallagher. Is he? Is it? Where have we read that? Where have we read that? Or Darren, are you just an in the know that no one knows and he's going to be mudded like everybody else? Conor Gallagher, I don't see it. I just don't see him. He didn't want to come here before. So why would he want to come now? How long does loyalty last though? After you've left, Connor wants to come back to the UK, and we need English players. This could happen, I think. Yes, I get where you're coming from. But and I know it's a bit different when you're a Premier League player. Of course it is. But is he not a Chelsea fan? Did he not come all the way through all the youth? I mean, let's flip it the other way, Tony. What if Kane came back? Can you imagine Kane going to an Arsenal or a Chelsea or Can you imagine that? Well, what do you guys think? Can you imagine Kane doing that? And that would be a similar sort of thing, wouldn't it? I know Conor Gallagher's not obviously as old as Kane and didn't stay as long as in his professional career as Kane did at Spurs, but that's a similar sort of thing. I don't think he'll come back. And also, if he's available, there's probably going to be other clubs in for him, right? It's not just going to be Spurs. Surely there's going to be other clubs that kind of come in for him. What's happened to him as well? I mean, when he first signed, he was getting rave reviews left, right, and centre. And then now I've been reading that he's kind of not doing that well. Peter Heil, nearly 9 p.m. in Melbourne. Big up, mate. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for popping. Well, good evening, and thanks for popping in, mate. Much appreciated. Well, ain't going Spurs, pipe down, corrupt for us, relegation for you. Well, to be honest with you, and again, I've probably said this online. I never felt, I kept being told that absolutely Forest are going to finish in the Champions League phases when they were third, and I was like, they're not going to. They're gonna fall out. They are gonna fall out. And at one stage, I looked very wrong. But where will they finish this year? When you consider as well, guys, like, and I think this is a little bit being forgotten about. There's a lot of clubs in the European spaces, in the European competitions this year that have never experienced it or haven't done so for a very, very long time. So how are they going to adapt to playing like 2-3 games a week? I think that mid-section of the Premier League is going to be right tight, real tight. I don't fancy Forest are going to get relegated. I don't think Nuno's tactics allow them to. I don't think they'll get beat often enough. But if they're playing like Chris Wood, obviously, Gibbs-White sign, have lost the Langer. I could see him struggling a little bit. I really could. Brian Daigle going live today, mate. I don't know, but he came on the show recently. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. He was on the show recently. I think it may have been on Thursday. And we was chatting everything from Gibbs-White, and I'm in the mud just as much as him. I thought we was going to get it. We actually need a left winger striker, CDM, CM. Wayne, big up, mate. I completely agree, but I also think we need a left-sided centre back or a left back as well. In that, I think that's where we're lacking. So Morgan Gibbs-White would have been the CM there. But yeah, I agree. 60 equals Jashari Palini. Mate, Jashari is the guy, man. I don't know if you haven't seen him. I know there's been a lot of you YouTubers that have been speaking about him recently, and yeah, he is top drawer. He is top drawer. Whoever gets him is going to be absolutely incredible. Big up, Rich. Big up, mate. We are a shambles. Oh my God, we're a shambles. We are. Only us could be Spursy after winning the Europa League final, mate. Only us. Ain't going Spurs, the little parasite. No. It's listen. As I said, I think there's going to be a little bit more that comes out about this. He's definitely done us over, but who else has? I'm sure there's a few of them that have done us over, mate. I'm sure there's a few of them. But prove me wrong. I'll first of all listen to Rich. He speaks sense, this fella. He absolutely speaks a lot of sense. Smash the likes. That's what you need to do. Let's smash the likes. What are we at? I said I wanted 50. We're at 29. There's 47 people in here. There's 50 people in here now. Everybody just like. It's not hard. Just like it. If you wanted Morgan Gibbs-White, yeah, if you wanted him, then like the stream. And if you didn't want him, like the stream. And then we're all liking the stream. And it'll be brilliant. Prove me wrong. Are we talking about Levy proving us wrong? I hope he does. Felix the Saudi, mate, it's unbelievable, isn't it? It's unbelievable how these clubs manage to sign a player, right, for X fee. They have a disastrous career for that club, whether it be out on loan or whatever. And then they're selling them for a profit again. Like, what? I don't get me wrong. It's literally like a €2 million profit, but it's a profit. What? Who is paying £50 million for João Felix right now? Absolutely ridiculous. And Levy's so the rules that FFP will work. That can he go back on it now? Can he? I don't know. I can't see it. Palini have to drop a centre back and play progressive passes, get in the box. Can he? I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying that he's more of I'll keep saying this. Do you remember when we had a decent team and when we was like we just needed a bit of a destroyer in there? We just went and got Palacios, and it was like we're only going to have him for a year or two, and that's it with Polina, isn't it? That's it with Polina. Like he's not going to be the long-term solution. I can't see Bayern Munich saying, do you know what, have him on loan, because even if we have him on loan for a year, then he's a 1 year older. They're not going to get what they want for him. So I understand it. As I say, I'm not sitting here saying I don't think he's a good player. I'm not saying I don't think he'll be a good signing. Just he wouldn't be my number one. That's all I'm saying. He's a Rolls Royce. He's a good player. He is a good player. As I said, I completely agree. Neither are world class from. No, I don't know. As I say, there isn't. We don't have that many, do we? We don't have, if any, world class players in the squad. Potentially, we've got a few, but not at the moment. There's an agreement room. Well, world class. I'm not so sure. In the right tactics, and if that's what you want from your central midfielder, he does the job 100%. But yeah, I think world class might be just one level above. I still can't believe we struggled to create chances against League One, mate. I try not to watch friendlies and think too much into it. I kind of more look at who's looking up for it, who looks ready, even though it's a League One team, who looks ready to kind of be there and try and deliver and not just kind of sail through the game and that sort of stuff. Watched Bournemouth last night, Everton, centre-back, James Hill was fantastic. Yeah, Trofford looks like a good player, to be fair. He looks like a good player. And they've made, I don't know whether you was here earlier, Ed, but when we first started up the stream, I said the squad planning at this club is just absolutely ridiculous. Bournemouth, it's not ridiculous, is it? They go, right, we're probably going to lose Kirkes. Before he's even left the club, they've got their number one target at left back through the door, training, and it frees up Kirkes to go. Whereas with us, we do it the other way around. Now, interestingly, Paqueta, the rumour is, well, there's been two rumours about Paqueta recently. One is that he's going to get off of the whole bribing, so the whole betting scandal, which is absolutely scandalous if he gets off, because he's basically been told, everyone's been told that he's guilty already, and that it denied him what looked like his dream move to Manchester City for £85 million. Rumour is he's available for 35 million. Mate, if that's the case, Paqueta is an option for me. 100% Paqueta is an option. Again, he probably would have to be, would he play central midfield? Again, I think you'd probably be better suited against with someone like Polina, to be honest with you, because then he's that defensive cover that's needed. I'm not sure Paqueta's that great defensively, but he's definitely an option that I like 100%. In the null, like Sean's been absolutely muddied. He's taking it on the chin, to be fair. But what a time to bring out his video, and then a few hours later, I feel sorry for him. But listen, we're all in it. We put our name to the camera, face to the camera, and that's what happened. Failed to provide the manager with the tools to do the job. Blame him when he doesn't perform miracles. Rinse and repeat. Mate, been saying it from day one since I joined YouTube. It's exactly what I've been saying. Unless managers get the back in, unless they get fully backed, then this is what happens. And they don't get fully backed. I think negative karma will come our way, sacking Ange. I'm not going to start the whole Ange in, Ange out debate. I'm not going to do it, guys. He's gone. He's not here. I said that he didn't get as much backing as what was being made out. I think fans blamed him for absolutely everything, and we can clearly see that now he's left. There are still the similar, or not all of the issues, but some of the issues that we're seeing are still here. So that's just the way it works for me. It doesn't seem that long ago I was overjoyed thinking we're around going to change. Mate, it's one of them things where it feels like it's just happened, but it also feels such a long time ago, because this Morgan Gibbs-White, I feel like I've been saying his name constantly. Bags of investment, kudos, Morgan Gibbs-White, and what's happened? What's happened? It's just, mate, unbelievable, guys. Let's check where we are at subs. 17 more, guys. We need 17 more to hit 1.2k. Come on. There must be 17 of you in here that haven't subbed yet. 36 likes. 14 more of you like. 14 more likes, 17 more subs. Come on, guys, we can do it. I don't agree. We need a DLP and a box to box, but if we get both in without CM, no, I get where you're coming from. No, I get where you're coming from. And when I say deep line playmaker, but one that's able to operate in the. I'll tell you the best way to describe what I'm saying is under Ange. Yeah, when he was using his sort of tactics, the CMs were all over the place, weren't they? They was deserting the central midfield. So for me, Paulinho would have sat in there. He would have been your main man, and he would have been in that defensive position. However, when we got to the Europa League final, it was a double pivot when it was Bentancur and Basuma, and there was one of them at least was covering that sort of space. And that's my thoughts about it. As I said, look, I don't want anyone to think I'm saying Paulinho's poor or anything like that. I think he'll be a good option. However, for me, that should be your third choice sort of thing. Gibbs-White was your first. There should be someone else that's similar to Gibbs-White that we should be targeting. Saturday waiting to be picked up 20 million. That doesn't really affect. Yeah, there is that. If we're going to pick him up and then go and look at a left centre back, a left back, a central midfielder, a forward of some sort who plays off the left, plays up front, whatever, then I don't think that's a bad window. If we're signing him because we're focusing elsewhere and we want to put the money there, brilliant. Absolutely fine with that. But that then tells me that we've got some sort of plan. And does Spurs have a plan? We've been discussing it for the last 45 minutes saying we haven't. So I'm not so sure it works out like that. But yes, if we was playing FM, I do get you. Yesterday we were 3 players that gave good accounts of themselves. Spurs nowhere near good enough now. It is a top half of the league team. It is, but we need improvements. We need improvements if we want to get where we want to be. This is Spursy community. I'd like to get a shout out among you as well. Making a pass for it. even us as Spursy, we thought it was gone. You win the Europa League, Spursy tag is absolutely gone. We're still here, baby. We are still here, baby. Spotlight, your homework is to watch some of Paulinho. No, mate. As I said, I'm not saying that he's poor. I liked him at Fulham, and under Ange, he would have been my number one central midfield target. Under Ange, he would have been absolutely my number one target. And I think I've said that. On numerous streams before. I'm just saying that in this way of playing, and the way that I think that Frank will play, I don't think he's as much of a necessity in terms of player profile than what we than he was under Ange. That's all my point. Lookman, Vlahovic, Garnacho, Paulinho would be a great window. That's a lot to ask for. Isn't it? Being Spurs, I'm just saying from a Spurs point of view. For any other club, it's not, but from Spurs, considering we've taken this long and just to get Koulibaly over the line. I'm not sure whether you need a Lookman and a Garnacho. Personally, not sure whether you need both of them. But yeah, I get where you're going with it. Vlahovic would be an interesting one, especially for the money that's being talked about. Some cheap costs are being quoted for there, which is a bit weird. 2 games yesterday, lack of quality, both was outstanding. Not one player showed creativity. Nobody could pass it. I thought Oliver looked a little bit bright. It looked like he was kind of going at his man, but again, it's such a. I don't take much from friendlies, to be honest with you. I'll never forget. It was I can't remember the year. I'll never forget when we played. I think it was Inter Milan, and we had the front 4 of like Keane, Berbatov, Bent, Defoe, or whatever it was. We absolutely smashed them. And in pre-season, we're going, we're winning all the games, like we're winning it all, and then we didn't as soon as the season started. So, but I get what you're saying. It wasn't the most encouraging signs. Yoga CDM, Andre at Wolves, and they won 100 million money. I'd like the other one. I'd like João Gomez. I think João Gomez looks like a top player. Andre looked very good as well. Andre does look good, but again, Ait Nouri and Cunha have just been sold. They've got £100 million sitting there. Again, are we targeting players where they can just quote what they want because they've got no need to sell? Good news, we have Arsenal. Brilliant news. Cheers. Because we need more negative news, don't we? Razzle dazzle. Stranger, we have so many links for centre backs. Yeah, completely agree. I don't think anyone knows. I don't think anyone knows who we're after. It just doesn't make any sense. Football's so corrupt. FIFA is head of corruption. Look at that. Back-to-back messages. Let's not go down there. That's a rabbit hole that we haven't got time for. Push our luck taking 2 West Ham players. Yeah, but apparently that's what they're willing to accept 35 million. And whether they're willing to accept it from us, I don't know. But I think he's a decent player. Spurs with on the pitch and Bruno Johnson not having a CDM's Kamikaze. Yeah. But you say that, but I think Frank will have us set up better defensively. I do think we'll be better defensively. But again, I can see where you're coming from 100%. Anyone seen investment naming rights? Stadium's being named in a few days. If you listen to the In the Nose, who have just been mudded that moment. With or without Ange, the needs of the squad dictates the quality. I've said this. Player profile's different. However, under Ange, we needed cover at left centre back or left back. We needed a central midfielder, and we needed 1 or 2 wingers or a forward option. And we still need all of those. We still need all of the above. Again, just the player profile of the CM is slightly different for me as non-negotiables. I completely agree. Parrot teaches a few diamonds up his sleeve. Yeah, that's the problem though. He probably has got a few diamonds up his sleeve, and whether they're fully legal, I don't know. Big up, Top Doc. Hello. Great show as usual. Do you not have super chats, mate? I'm not got the partnership yet, man. I'm not got the partnership. We've hit the subscribers. We have hit the subscribers, but we've only been going for a few months, so I still need the watch hours to be up. But we're very close, mate. We are very, very close. So yeah, hopefully that will be coming very, very soon. Guys, I'm just going to do a quick check. We're wrapping up in 10 minutes. We are at 39 likes. There's 11 more likes needed, guys. 11 more likes needed. No plan. That is the plan. Yes, that is it, Lord Rodney Trotter. You absolutely know. Spurs, let's just see how we go. Why make a plan? Why make a plan? It's pointless. Spurs. We're back on blaming Levy. Let's blame it on everything. Willing to sell Casado, De Jong, Xavi back. We'll get him. Try for Pellegrini. I'll be a solid midfield. Yeah, it's just we look like we're going down the whole Prem proven route, don't we? I think that's the only problem there. Ange, no Ange, same problems. Yeah. 100%, mate. 100%. A lot of stuff has to change behind the scenes. That's the problem. Just want Walton. The kid is as good. Yeah, Steve, big up, mate. The only thing I'd say about Walton is quoted price is like the £100 million mark, right? And again, Walton is a top player. I'd love Walton. I think he's a top player. However, if we blow all of our budget on Walton, which then doesn't allow defensive cover, which then doesn't allow a Morgan Gibbs-White sort of replacement, if you like, because Walton would probably be that more deeper lying player, doesn't allow a forward of some sort to come in, are you still thinking that we, like, say let's just use this as an example, right? We've got Kudus through the door. If we only signed Walton next, and that was it, we've got nobody else, is that enough? Because £100 million to lay down is a hell of a lot of money, and Spurs don't really. On Spurs diehards, I said we did nothing wrong with Morgan Gibbs-White. Dylan was told he'd be a Spurs player. Mate, we was all told it. And let's just see. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Looks negative for right again. They're always right. Mate, I don't know. Like, is it just me? And maybe this is just me, right? But I've always got 2 different people on these shoulders, right? I have the positive and I have the negative. And I'll read a story and all the positivity rushes to my brain. And I'm like, yes. And then this one here just chirps away and is like, but it's Spurs. Yeah. No, I understand that, but it's Spurs. Am I the only one that has that? Because I literally feel like it depends on what day you catch me on. Some days I'm like, yeah, no, Morgan Gibbs-White is ours. We're definitely going to sign him, 100 million%. And then other days I go, if there's any club in the world that can mess this up, it's this one right here. Still give the ball away. Yeah, again, we've still got exactly the same problems that need addressing. 100%. I do think Kudus brings something to the team. 100%. I think he definitely brings something to the team, and he'll be a good signing. I have no doubt. But if we think that's enough, God help us. Last few games made all the fans said it isn't a priority. Dumb. To be fair, I don't think I've seen anyone say that a 6 isn't a priority. I don't think I've seen anybody say that. I think the player profile, people have said maybe that Paulinia, for instance, the destroyer, the one that was needed under Ange, isn't as much of a priority. But I would say that the attacking issues are also prevalent. So that could also be, yeah, mate. Honestly, when did I do the first video? It was like, I'm sure it was like end of March. I think we've been going for like 3 months, and we were at nearly 1.2k already. So, guys, the support is just absolutely ridiculous. So, just a massive, massive thank you to everyone. I constantly say it, but I just can't believe that we've had this many likes, this many streams, this many people on the channel, the subs. It's absolutely ridiculous. So massive, massive thank you to everyone that's been involved. Why the obsession with Prem proven? Must be plenty of talent in Europe. Well, I think the problem is we get burned so often. That's probably the reason why. I'm not saying that every single signing is going to be Prem proven. I'm just saying that seems to be Morgan Gibbs-White, Kudus. That seems to be Walton. That it seems to be that's where we're kind of heading. Right, guys, I'm a little bit behind on the chat. Let's catch up. Let's catch up because we are going to be shooting off soon. It was just a quick one to come on and just vent about Morgan Gibbs-White. Perpetually optimistic fans who won't admit that Morgan Gibbs-White falls on media. Mate, I don't agree with a word in there. First of all, come on. But if we're led to believe by all of the consistent and reputable journalists that are out there, we matched the release clause. The wages were accepted and Forest blocked it, which again looks like legally they had no right to do. So I'm not so sure this one's on Levy. And again, there might be more that comes out in the wash, and if that comes out, absolutely fine. But I'm not someone that I don't have a predetermined outcome. I look at what I can see, and I think what we're going off of that this has happened previously, so it must be his fault. I don't think that's the case. What is our budget? Who knows? Naming rights. I've always said I think we have about 100 to 150 million pounds to spend. Obviously, not all up front, and then some of that. I reckon we'll probably look to like the £200 mark with outgoings. But what is for sure, Stevie, is that we've got £60 million there to spend because we put it up for Morgan Gibbs-White, didn't we? So. Would he have been? Would he have been? No. Who's said that that's the case? I thought that. I literally said I think if we'd been a little bit more, but who's to know that that was the case? That might not have been the case. It's not because he's bad. We just don't know the budget for all. Yeah. I can hear it. Yeah, we're just human nature. Or being a Spurs fan. So guy, we all are. You're not the only one. I wish we had the squad from the 80s. Oh mate. Mate, if we had the squad going back to the Poch years. Do you know what I mean? If we had that squad, I'd take that at this moment in time. Why we do history, eh? We just won a European competition, and we want to sack a lot of them. Show negative fans respect. We don't have good footballers. BJ Tell, not a bit horrible. Richie Solanke, dreadful. Pains me to say it, but what a waste of money. All of the above are. I agree on some points. I think we spoke about this, Rich. I think Tell's going to do all right this year. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I just have a feeling. Odebear on his day, I think he needs a bit more. He needs a bit more experience. I think he'll be a decent player. But yeah, I get where you come. They're not good enough. Let's all agree on that. Whether we think they're poor or whatever, they're not good enough. Is definitely agreeing. Big up, Luke. Just another day in the life of a Spurs fan. There's a lot to answer for. It ain't just Spurs fault. 100%. Everybody's got a lot to answer for in this, mate. 100,000,000%. Big up, Martin. Thank you for coming in, mate. This afternoon. Never understand how so-called professional footballers can often find it easy to pass to the opponent. It happens so often, mate. 2-yard passes, and they go, and then I'm told that it's on the manager's fault. I'm like, no, 2-yard passes are not on the manager. They're definitely not. That's on the player. Big up, Alan. Another new subscriber. Big up, mate. Let's see where we're at in the sub. We need 14 more, guys. 14 more. Where are we on likes? I said 50. It was a stretch. We're on 44. Guys, come on. There's 48 of you watching. We need 6 more likes to hit 50. Come on, guys. After Levy's speech being winners, just the sound I know, mate. He didn't put a timing on it, did he? He did not put a timing on it. So, yeah, like, but to make them sort of statements. But again, you have to flip it both ways, don't you? Like Spurs fans, and rightly so, we were all sitting there going, we want to know what the targets are. We want to know where Levy wants this club to go. And he's come out and said it. And then now it's his time to back it up. Now it's his time to back it up. That's the bottom line. We all wanted him to say things like that. He said them now. And back it up. Yeah, mate, it's been ridiculous, honestly. Like, I was still, after 3 months, I was still expecting to come on here and talk to myself. I was expecting to see 2 or 3 people, and that's about it. To hit these numbers is just absolutely mind blowing, mate. It's absolutely mind blowing, and it's thank you to all of you. Like, literally all of you guys. As I say, you got some people that just come in and just listen. You got some people that comment, that some people like, some people share on X, some people, whatever that might be. Like, every single person has played a part in this. Do you know what I mean? So I really like the channel. You're honest, balanced, good for you. Cheers, mate. That's what I try to be. I try to be balanced in every single situation. Listen, if everyone's like me, we feel so passionate about Spurs, we get caught up in the moment. Do you know what I mean? Like we go overboard on certain stuff. Do you know, Vuskovic in the Reading game, we signed a centre back who's 18. He scores an unbelievable finish, gets an assist, clearance off the line, and we're all sitting there going, this geezer's going to the absolute top. He's going to be one of the best centre backs in the world within a couple of weeks. But we're all that's the whole point of it, isn't it? But then we get let down. We get the lows like Morgan Gibbs-White, where we're sitting there going, yep, he's done. And then all of a sudden, he ain't. No backup option for Gibbs. No, I don't think there is. I don't think there is. 5K by the end of the season with the business, we're going to... It definitely would have been 5K if we'd still be talking about Morgan Gibbs-White. That's what it felt like. It felt like that was going to go on. Even when the transfer window ended, it was going to be like, you know, sometimes you hear like transfer window ends today and then tomorrow, it's like there's already reports about who Spurs are interested in. That's what it felt like it was going to be. It's going to rumble on for 2.5 years. It's going to be the Leandro Damião of this year. Do you know what I mean? We're falling behind. We fell behind, mate. We've already fell behind. And then these clubs that are above us are making signings. The only club that's struggled this year, and hopefully I don't jinx it, is Newcastle. Newcastle have struggled, man. Every single person they've gone in for has gone, no, we're all right. And if Isaac goes as well, massive mistake. Yeah, it looks like it. It looks like it. He tried to take Ange on. Ange come out of it successful with a trophy and a big paycheck. He's not happy. He's not happy, Louis. It's how we operate. Yeah, 100%, Darren. 100,000,000%. David Luiz in talks to Fenerbahce. Who isn't? Ed, who isn't, mate? I had a phone call this morning. They were interested in me. They are that Turkish league. Every single player that's on earth is being linked to. It's similar to the Saudi league when they first got their money. We shall see. Push and run on the double side. Wow. Yeah, mate. As long as we're winning trophies, that's what we want. Although we're winning it and we're still in the mud. Changed my mind and understanding him to looks levels above Ian Wilson. Yeah, I like him, mate. I like him, but I can't tell you why. I'm not going to sit here and try and justify it. I'm not going to say this, that, and the other. There's just sometimes you just have a feeling that you just have a feeling where you go, something's going to happen. Yeah, there's something going on in that Turkish league for sure. Levy's played Brian. I don't see any different level to the old coming board and make room. No, as I say, listen, that £60 million has to be spent now. It absolutely has to be spent. There's no, fans won't allow it. The protests will start again and everything else. Keeping my faith. He's learning. So, yeah, 100%. Bergvall, if you're not Bergvall. Bergvall in there as well, mate. 100 million %. I think they're going to be some top players. Next few games. Sorry, I'm just rattling through them, guys, because we are gonna finish up in a minute. Next few games against decent opposition. Yeah. When I said about pre-season games, like these sorts of games, like League One opposition, I'm not. But when we start playing your Bayerns and things like that, I'm a little bit more interested. I start taking it a little bit more seriously. So yeah, completely agree. This will be interesting to see how we get on. Right, let's check the likes. We're on 48 likes, guys. 48 likes. Two more before we wrap up. Subscribers, We are 9 away from 1.2k. 9 away. 2 more likes, 9 more subs. Come on, guys. Let's do this. Arsenal made 5 first-team signings already. Gokares next. Yeah, we don't like to talk about them, Lord, right? We don't like to talk about them. Let's not talk about them. Turkish league, even more corrupt than mate, they're bringing it in. They're bringing it in. Some. It happens that every couple of years there just seems to be some league, some club that just gets a whole load of money just pushed into it. Is Spurs going to be the next one? That would be interesting. Is Spurs going to be the next one? Naming rights. Naming rights. Are we ever going to be able to get that over the line? I will come back to you. Top. If you're still in the building, brother, I will drop you a message in a minute. Spurs meatball marinara, please. Oh, I can have one of them as it goes. Please use his full name. All right, guys, we are going to wrap up there. We are going to wrap up there. We are at 49, and I have faith that one more of you will drop a like, because we're Spurs fans. We're in this together. We're in the mud. All of us, we're in the mud together. So massive thank you to everyone, as I've repeated a few times already, but still just mind-blowing, humbling that we're getting whatever 50 odd people watching it on your Sunday afternoons, or for other people all around the world. We had some chats in from Melbourne, etc. earlier. So massive thank you to everyone who has dropped by. As I say, please keep liking, subbing, and all that good stuff. We will be back on. We've got some videos going live this week. We've got more of the My Spurs preview. We're bringing on guests, a brand new guest every episode. We've got probably 3 a week that are coming on, and we asked them 10 questions surrounding Spurs and the current predicament. The other guys have commented about the Morgan Gibbs-White situation, and they've been saying that they think it will get over the line, and obviously we're here. So it'll be interesting to see what the following people have. 3 of them are already up. They're about half an hour videos. They are quite interesting to see how different people are viewing things. So please go and watch them. We've got the live stream coming up on Thursday, guys. We've got a massive one this Thursday. We have Alex Barker, the Euro expert. You would know him from Euro expert on YouTube, doing sensible transfers. He does The Athletic as well. He's coming on, and he's going to give his thoughts on all things Tottenham, players that we should be looking to sign. He came on about a month ago, and he's kind of one out of the blue, really, was Kudos. And we've obviously got him over the line. So the guy knows a lot about football, and also he's not a fan of a specific team. He's just a fan of football. So he's got no allegiance or alliance to any specific player or any specific club or anything like that. So it's really interesting to hear someone that's not got a bias in any way against Spurs or players or anything like that. So yeah, watch out for that one. That's on Thursday at 9:30. As I said, we're shooting off now, guys. Afternoon in the UK. So have a great afternoon, evening, morning, whatever that is for you. And hopefully we'll see you again on the channel soon. Take care, guys. See you later. Come on, you Spurs.